Good evening to the House of Theacians. This is Mr. Abundance. Welcome to another event, the 7-day event TACC, the Afro-Caribbean Diasporan Coin of Choice in 2021. I have my panelists, they're lined up and will come on very shortly. So let me welcome you today being the second day of the new year. It was Heraclitus that says, change is the only constant that we as human beings can expect. Change is the only constant. And it was Einstein that says nothing happens until something moves. Nothing happens until something moves. So I want to thank all the pioneers slash founding members and those I am referring to who start this movement when we began last year, November. And so I just want to thank them. And of course, they were the greatest beneficiary as a result of that, who would have gotten more coins than those who are now coming in for equal investment. And so I just want to thank each and every one of them, and of course, the leaders. The team, as you know, we are still voting in the forum. We are still voting in the forum with regards to the theme that we are looking at. And so before I introduce my guests, let me play our theme song for last year. I guess they will find another one for this year once the theme is known. So let me share my screen now before I to do this song.
Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you. I say one God, one child, one you, one God, you. Think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you. It's now abundance, abundance, abundance. Abundance, God will bring you. Better than bring you. It's now abundance, abundance, abundance. Abundance, God will bring you.
All right, so that is our theme song, as most of you would know. Okay, so let me add my panel um, of guests this evening. And I know that there is more coming in. So let me say welcome our leader over there in Spain, Hedu Hamid Fodio. Did I call your name? Did I call
Thanks,
your name correctly, sir?
thanks so much, Mr. Abundance. Yes, Hudu Hamed Fodio. That is the right way, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And how is Spain this evening?
Well, you already know with the current situation of the virus all over Europe and the world, Spain, we are also quite doing well. We are also in a partial lockdown. but with hopes, we think everything is going to be fine soon.
Okay, excellent. Mr. Paul, our state coordinator from Abuja, Nigeria. Welcome, sir. Yes, can you hear me? I think Paul is having
Yeah.
some. I think Paul is having some connectivity issue there. Yes, you're having some connectivity issue. Let me welcome Prosperous Prince from the UK as well. Um, I think Paul, you will need to get your mic. You're not. We're not hearing you clearly. It seems like you're actually freezing up as well. All right. Now, before I go into the panel, I just want us to look at what cryptocurrency is doing today. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to bring up um, where it is now. Okay, now if you notice, I have Prosperous Prince here because I want to bring it up again because this is what the mistake that we should never make where TACC is concerned going forward, because how can our children and grandchildren excuse us when we are more intelligent than our grandparents? I mean, what will you say to them when they ask you, where were you when the fourth industrial revolution was giving birth? Where were you when cryptocurrency was being spoken of? Where were you when TACC gave birth? Where were you when Bitcoin went to 29,000, 32,000? I mean, what level of understanding did you have when Mr. Abundance is doing all these marathon sessions? Those are the questions your children will ask. Where were you? Now we have Prosperous Prince on the line, and so I will I will deal with him when I get to him. But look at Madam Godwin. She's our regional coordinator in Nigeria for I think North Central. I was privileged to have met her and her husband. Very lovely people indeed. If it is one Tiashan that I know in Nigeria, is Pastor Godwin. If it is one Tiashan I know in Nigeria, is Pastor Godwin. That's the wife. That's the husband of Madam Godwin. No, the others, please don't cut my neck off. I'm just saying, if it is one Tiashan. And so Madam Godwin, a couple of years ago, had the opportunity to have given less than 2,000 naira, less than $4 for 5,050 Bitcoin, and she didn't take up the offer because the coin came from an unexpected person, from an unexpected location, from an unexpected system. And so because it came from an unexpected location, person, and system, nobody took it serious. And those who bought it still went and gave it away for nothing because they count it as nothing, not knowing that the times and the season were changing. And even today, after 10 years, we still do not understand this technology. And so today, if Madam Godwin had just curious enough or do what Richard Branson would have said. Richard Branson said that when somebody offers you an awesome opportunity and you don't know what it is, take it, grab it, and then go and figure it out. And so today, if she had only give away, just give away that $4, today she would have over 165 million US dollars, or over 76 billion naira. Now look at it. And that is what TACC will do for a lot of us today. I said this morning that the next billionaires and trillionaires will give birth from their bedrooms on a smartphone. They will give birth from their bedrooms on a smartphone. And so, welcome to this series, TACC, the Afro-Diasporan coin in 2021 with Mr. Abundance. Prosperous Prince, as I said yesterday, is our resident guest. And I am having here because nobody should make the mistake that Prosperous Prince made when Bitcoin was at nothing. $15, $15, 10,000. And he missed it because it was unfamiliar.
Yes.
It did not come from a familiar source.
Yes.
Because it did not come from a familiar source, we pay no attention.
Yes.
Let me go to our leader over there in Spain. Please let us know what are you doing in Spain where TACC is concerned. Give us your insight and foresight as to you can make suggestions as well how you see TACC, and where do you see us? We have a chart. We have forecast that at the end of TACC goes on the exchange this year at $1. Our forecast shows that by it normally we'll be looking at 500 before the year end. By 2023, 5,000, I think. By 2025, 9,000. Without government, just normal. With government, and big institutions, those figures can double and triple. I mean, we cannot guarantee anything because we know how the market goes, but this is a forecast. And so some are predicting that even before the end of the year, TACC will be at 5,000. Some say at 10,000, just like what YF coin did, went to nearly 40,000 in a couple of weeks. Some are even predicting that it will even reach to 50,000. Now, I cannot blame them because we are doing the groundwork now for that to happen. And so, yes, let us hear
Okay.
you.
Thanks so much once again, Mr. Abundance, and greetings to Sir Prince and all Tiashans all over the globe watching currently. Concerning TACC here in Spain, as a matter of fact, we are on the ground, expanding the base, bringing in new members, day in, day out, trying to educate some of our brothers who probably don't have enough knowledge in cryptocurrency and more about TACC also. Lots are quite finding it difficult to understand our journey and our mission, but as time goes on, they will realize the importance of this particular community or TACC that we are in. And the only thing I could tell watching out is TACC is coming to wipe out tears of people like Mr. Prince, that
One,
means the
one moment
opportunity.
there. One moment there, leader. Those if you're not talking, please mute your mic. Turn your volume down because the sound is coming through. Okay. All right. Continue, leader.
Okay, sir. Thanks. Yeah, as I was saying,
It will-
TAC is here to wipe out tears for those who had the opportunity to
to
have
what
invest in
road,
Bitcoin but missed it in one way or
Um,
the other.
what something like that. Sometimes
So
Prosperous Prince, we can hear you now. Please
that's
mute your mic, please. That's what I'm just saying. That I'm getting the feedback. The noise is coming. You know what happened just now? The light here just went. So
oh,
I
sorry.
was saying yesterday that it didn't go. Okay, just came back again. Yesterday it didn't go, but today, just now it went. Thanks to my backup system in front of me, I still have a little light because my light in front of me is charged, so it could stay there for about an hour or two. So all right then. So we want to thank our leader over there in Spain
In
who
Spain,
came on
Barcelona.
board. May I ask you, sir? How are you getting Bitcoin to fund your wallet?
Yeah.
And of course, you have connections also in Nigeria now.
Yes. About the Bitcoin issue, I at the beginning I had the help of Mr. Prince. For a couple of weeks onward, I discovered some ATMs here in Barcelona that you could go to mine or buy or sell your Bitcoin and all other stuffs. We actually have a number of ATMs here in Barcelona. So with
Okay,
that, I've
so
also
you
built a good
so you
relation with them
so
over there for any person who wants
so
the Bitcoin to
so
buy.
so what are you saying that your problem is solved?
Yes, sir. With the Bitcoin issue, we have solved that issue. Anybody who is interested to invest in TAG, we are well ready to attend to the person. Any
Oh,
questions, any inquiries, be it
this,
in our brothers here in
this is
diaspora
this
or
is
precisely in
serious.
Barcelona.
This is serious. So you're saying that you're now in a position to buy Bitcoin and distribute to our leaders.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Ah, what a news. So here you go. Wow. And of course, how will this get the money to you now?
Well, it depends on the location the person is. If it's within Spain here, we have different ways of the transfers we could do through the transfer of banking or
Yeah,
through PayPal.
let's say the folks from UK, if they want to UK or the US or no, well, let's say the Caribbean or let's say
Okay.
African, because you know you're from Nigeria now.
Yeah, from Ghana, sir.
Yes, no. So if somebody from Ghana, well, I don't know if Ghana is having issues with Bitcoin, but
Yes.
sometimes, you know, like Madam Helen in the DRC, they seem to be having some issues with Bitcoin.
Okay.
There's some islands in the Caribbean also seems to be having problem with Bitcoin. So if they would they have to like wire the money to your bank? That's what it is, or send it through Western Union?
Yes, they could send it through the bank. I have an account. They could send it through it, or if the person uses a PayPal, that will be easier because with the PayPal you could send money to someone in just a blink of time. With the
Okay.
person's email,
I
he would
think
forward
PayPal
you
restrict.
to.
I think PayPal restrict you now. You know, these companies they also restrict you very well. All right,
Yes,
sir. I just want to thank you. At least you have no issues in Spain in terms of getting Bitcoin. That is excellent. All right,
thanks.
so let us move on to I see we have Paul there, but his mic is his video is off. We also have Mr. John Asomuga. Uh, please turn your video on, sir. Um, yes, that's right. No, your video is off again. I'm not too sure if it is internet. Okay. Can you hear us, sir? Mr.
Yes, I
John,
can. Yes, I can. Chief Abundance.
thank you very much, sir. Please introduce yourself to the community of TACC. Tell us what is happening on your end, and how can we better ourselves in TACC globally? How can we become meaningful? And where do you see TACC is going? This is 2021, a new year. What are the expectations?
Yes. Good evening, Tiashans, the newbies, and especially Chief Abundance.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be in your midst. I happen to be one of the founding members of TACC from Nigeria. And it is said by Victor Franklin that when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So in this aspect, I believe this was why TACC was born. And frankly speaking, it has been a very, very good idea to have initiated TACC. But the problem is that we, the people of color, don't know what we have and what we are into. If we can look very well and see very well, I believe we have better than Bitcoin in our hands. Better than Bitcoin in our hands. And what does that mean? This is a structure which many of us don't even know the way it is structured. Because if we have gone through the structural aspect of our coin, I believe it is only TACC that is the standing coin in the world at the moment. It has basis, most especially transparency. Transparency. Then it has goals to achieve. These goals are rare. Because TACC buried greed and selfishness. That is why we have these goals to attain and everything.
That's
yes. If you look at TACC goals, first and foremost, you talk of the goals of malaria elimination from Africa.
Yes, TACC Rollback Malaria Initiative in Africa.
This program, let me tell you one thing people don't understand. TACC, in fact, malaria kills more people than the coronavirus they're talking about.
Yes, no.
Malaria kills more people than most diseases you talk about, but nobody talks about that malaria. Nobody talks about it.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that.
It. Yeah. So look at that aspect and look at the tax issue of sporting. Our Afro-Caribbean sports festival.
Afro-Caribbean Cup of Nations.
Bringing together our lost brothers like you, who we maybe intentionally or maybe by mistake have given away. Nobody knows how it happened.
Oh yes, no, we knew. No, we knew how it happened. The history is there. The history is there. It didn't happen by accident. Somebody came with a boat. Somebody came with a boat, and monies or commodities were passed, and so we were shipped. Go on, sir.
Yes, and then look at the buyback.
We cannot blur history, and so that our children don't know what happened. We have to be transparent, even though it may not be something that we wish to talk about much. But I mean, when I went to Cameroon and I went to the gate of no return, it struck me very much because they did a reenactment of how we were gathered together. A matter of fact, it was a sophisticated operation. It wasn't they just come in and grab people the first that they get, like you're chasing animals. It wasn't like that. The best and the strongest came, and they were chosen, and those who they felt what couldn't make the journey was left behind. So they have a whole holding area, and I see all the levels and the process that they went to, my brother. So it wasn't that as laissez-faire, no aimlessly situation. But nonetheless, I got your point that we are, you can say, the Josephs in the Bible, that even though the intention may have been evil, the divine made it for good, because we are the ones that went over, gather these knowledge and experience, build
Exactly.
Europe, build the Caribbean, build the US. We understand what first world standard of living is, and that is why we are coming back to Africa to create
Exactly.
a first world continent. So you are blessed, my dear brother. Continue.
And secondly, and lastly but not the least, think of the debt buyback from the Chinese.
Yes.
If we know what that means, it means we are going to be stronger than even those people we think they are stronger than us. By the time that happens, we will have strong economics.
Yes.
We will have strong visa policies. We will even have people trying to realign with Africa for free visa movement, everything you need.
Yes.
And that is a very big step towards liberation, even physically, spiritually, and otherwise. So I believe that TACC has good intention, and thank God for someone like you, Chief Abundance. I'm not saying it because you are here, but the fact is that many of us have been chosen to do good work. But instead of that, we go out doling out the shiny objects to our fellow human beings, which is very dangerous and very bad.
Yes.
As a result, many things will go wrong. And that is why, even as at now, you see those people who don't want to change their movements. They are afraid of taking the chances. But I tell anybody that is living, the fact, if you can remember, I sent you a personal mail when TACC was created that I never had money to invest. I'm going to invest on or before the end of November. Then I didn't have the financial distance to do that as at then. But after that, I had to raise money by all means and engage in TACC. And that engagement, I advise anybody who is living and listening, raise your money from anywhere, but don't steal and put it into TACC. Raise your money from anywhere. Raise your money from anywhere. When I mean from anywhere, don't steal or tip from somebody else, but raise your money and invest into TACC. You'll not regret it. This is another way God wants to bless the African nation, the people of color, and those people that has to be in third world in terms of economy. There's no reason why we should ignore TACC, except for the fact that some people want to stay where they are. People that don't like changes.
Yes.
So I commend every Tiashan that has taken the bold step. And let me tell you, our fellow Tiashans, TACC is on the wrong way already. We have boarded. We are on the wrong way. We are on the wrong way. We are boarded, but the latecomers will still have opportunity to join us.
Yes.
They will have opportunity to join us. But if they don't do that, the flight will take off with their seats empty, which some people will even occupy. And that may be people like us again, inviting our fellow maybe other families to come and join. Because many people are willing to join. But the fact is that we have not been pushful enough to do that.
Yes, I want to thank you, our dear Tiashan, brother John there, yes, his glory now, his glory and something now, his glory and grace, huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
His glory
His
and
glory
grace. Yes, his glory and grace. We have Madam Helen just came in there, but she has been having some issues there. But I just want to piggyback on the aspects in TACC that you pointed out, that a lot of us still do not understand the gravity and the impact those social programs will have on TACC. You know, a lot of coin raise and go to the market, and when they go to the market, that's it. They fall flat on their faces because they have nothing else to move them. They have nothing else to move them. Now we're talking about the biggest event that this world will ever see, Afro-Caribbean International Musical Culture and Trade, where our brothers and sisters, as you just mentioned, from across the globe will come together in one location to celebrate who we are, to create economic movement. I told the person, our leaders in West Africa, that a pound of yam or a pound of cassava, a pound of potato in my country is $2 US.
That is serious.
$2 US, and they show me about 8 kilo of yam. They said that, Mr. Bondes, you could have gotten 8 kilo for that money. And so that is why our coming together and TACC will create so much opportunities and wealth for our people, but it's not going to be easy, because we have to contend with our leaders who are leading with the agenda from the West and from Asia. And their agenda is to keep Africa in abject poverty, because that is the only way that their economies will be able to survive. So this is going to be a fight of a lifetime, because we are now creating the foundation to free us from artificial scarcity, because that's what it is. This is not natural, you know.
It's not.
But I just want to thank you to bring those things out. Malaria, you know, in my country, a matter of fact, is when I went to Africa, I know about malaria. I must tell you the truth. I don't know. I am not that young, you know, to say, well, I just born yesterday. You know, we don't know what malaria is. I mean, we got rid of malaria since 1951.
That is true.
You know, and here it is. I mean, killing more people in the world than any single disease. But nobody took notice of it. You think if this was in the UK, it would have allowed to happen? If this was in the US, would it allow to happen? If this was in Spain, Germany, this level of malaria, do you think that WHO would not shine the light on it? Of course they would. But why are they not shining the light? Because we are not human beings here. We are not human beings.
That's what they assume.
Yes, no, and that is the reason why that we now have to understand the history of things, understand what is happening. We cannot live like, you know, like with our heads in the sand as if we're dafts. You know, there are too many PhDs and bachelors. And I mean, 30, 50 years ago, we could have excused our grandparents, but our children will not be able to excuse us. How can we, with bachelors and with degrees, allow this to happen without doing anything? Because we are so divided. They have done a number on us. They have done a number on us that even when they took the chains from our neck and our ankle, we still can't catch ourselves. Our minds are still chained. Have mercy. All right, so let me bring in I'm going to bring in Prosperous Prince. You know, Prosperous Prince is from the UK, and you can unmute yourself, Prosperous Prince. John, you can mute yourself now. Prosperous Prince, you can unmute yourself, because that's right. I see that you're mute. That's correct. You know, Prosperous Prince was one of those person that was introduced to this technology that TACC is now has embarked upon. Because you see, Bitcoin did not come to eradicate poverty, to address inequality. Bitcoin did not come to give you clean water in your villages, current, internet, infrastructure development, clinics, schools, roads. Bitcoin came to show us that there is a different way outside of the norm to create wealth that is not controlled by governments. That is the most important goal that Bitcoin came to achieve, and it did. It did it. I mean, it was hijacked by the 1%, because the 1% still have most of the Bitcoin today. You can even though it came with the intention to also level the playing field, but because we were busy fighting each other because we are still busy not understanding what it is. And so every day that we behave ignorant, the elites are grabbing it up. They are grabbing it up because we do not understand that the technology actually came to render the 1% null and void. They knew if we only understood the power of cryptocurrency, the elites are finished. They're finished. And that is why, as one of my colleagues in South Africa said, COVID came in to stir up everything, to disarray everything, to stop this momentum in cryptocurrency. That's what, because they know where this was going. And so we have Prosperous Prince here. Prosperous Prince told us yesterday what happened. And he's on the line again today with us. He's a resident guest throughout this 7 day. Prosperous Prince, talk to us. What can you tell us? What can you advise the panel? Yes, go on.
Good evening to all the TACCs once again to proceed our mission and our goals that we want to achieve in TACC today and tomorrow. I look at TACC as Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. And if you look at the story with Noah, when he was called on the people, and a day to day, sometimes I check my phone, who else can I share this with? Who else can I tell? Who else? I'm so proud to share this mission. But once again, when we try to deal with our color, to tell them to open their eyes to see what we are going through and what we need to do next for our betterments. A lot of them shake their head and, take it as business as usual. But TACC, I'm so proud of the mission that you don't need to beg anybody. All I see, it's my business to share it with them. Because after everything moved through, I don't want to be the one that they said, I didn't know about it. You didn't tell me about it. I could have done this and I could have done that. So it's for us to spread the word. Spread the word and tell them why we're doing it and the motion of TACC and how it is, as the brother says, all these structure put in place and mission for TACC, which is the Rollback Malaria Program and the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Cultural Gospel Fest, and those things is very important and very unique to what we are doing. I didn't see Bitcoin launch and tell us about rollback malaria. I didn't see Bitcoin launch and tell us, the leader come and tell us this is what they're doing, where Afro-Caribbean Trade, Cultural and Gospel Festival. No, this has never done before. So that's why this is so unique. This is so unique. When I talk to people on the road and tell them about this, they go, oh, why is that? They never heard about anything like that, bringing all the people together. Because as I am in the UK, I have one friend that came from Italy. And when he came from Italy, he went to a gathering in the summer. And he said he has never seen so much black people in his life. Right? So as he saw what we are doing and how we're gathering together, there is greater to become. There is greater to become. And as we move forward, I want all the TACCs not to look when they send me a couple of pounds to buy some coin. I do not want them to look at it as a couple of coin. Some of them, when I ask them, go to your wallet and buy your coin, it may take them a week. They forgot. How can you treat it like that? Think big and think that one coin can be 5,000, 10,000, up to 50,000. This is how we're looking at it. So I want all the TACCs looking at it now. Take it serious.
Yes, I shared the screen while you were talking, because I want the Tiashans to understand that, you know, when I spoke about your opportunity that you had, I
Yeah.
brought it back again today because, you know, yesterday when we were talking, we were multiplying Bitcoin by 29,000. Just before I came on, I took time. Now, Bitcoin is at $32,734.90.
Oh,
So, Prosperous Prince, your $15 or 10,000 Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
today would be at 327,349,000. Your 10,000 Bitcoin that you missed would have been at 327 million. And the reason I have you for the 7 days is that when TACC flight shall be airborne, nobody listening to us will have an excuse for their children when they will have to work for generations for those who took time to understand what was going on. Like Eric Finman, I said they will not have any excuse because right now Eric Finman is a multi-millionaire in America with money.
With
We
money.
say it's Bitcoin, but it's money because
Yes.
you can cash out Bitcoin today very
Yes.
easy without even leaving your home. You can put it into your bank account. So we're talking about money. When TAC goes on the exchange, we're talking about money. We have some people in TAC that invested 8,000, over 8,000. They get like over 300,000 coin. Now look at it right now. TAC is at 50 cents. That 8,000 is already over 150,000, and we have not gone on the exchange. When we go on the exchange from day one, that 8,000 now become over 300,000. You tell me what investment can you do? That is why I have this on the screen. $15 invested 10 years ago, 15 would have landed you today 163 million US dollars. $15. Don't ask me how I know it. Go and do your research because anything I am telling you now, you can go and you can look it up. So you don't have to say, Mr. Abundance said, go and do your research. All right. So, Paul, we tried to bring you on several times, but it seems like your internet is very weak. And so I will try the last time to bring you up and see if you come. Yes, your internet seems to be very weak, sir. You and Madam Helene. And I know that would have been the issue with Madam Helene, but I did not know it would be the issue with you either. So you need to, get a good internet connection so you can be on here. All right. So he's still see there. His thing is that he's trying to come up there, but he's not. All right. So let's go to because we don't want to go over an hour. So let's go to the Tiashan and the comments. Um, Mr. Francis Taylor say, welcome to the House of TAC. Welcome, Mr. Francis. Our global ambassador, our European ambassador over there say, good evening, Mr. TJ Brooks, Miss TJ Brooks. Good day, Mr. Abundance, Luigi Sani, Tabitha. I haven't heard from you for a long time, sir. Our youth ambassador, the entire community, good evening. Thank you very much, sir. Greetings to the house, most especially Mr. Abundance. As the man thinketh, so he becomes. That's correct, sir. I hope that Mr. Gabriel, I hope you will be able to join us tomorrow. Also, Mr. Ahedo, both brothers. We need to hear from Togo because I know that you're doing a wonderful job over there in Togo. Did I read what he says? Greetings to the house. Yes, I did. As a man thinketh, he become. Pastor Joseph, how are you? Good evening, House of Tiashan. Greetings from Uganda. Yes, good evening. Yes, good evening, sir. Grace, good evening, Mr. Abundance, and all the Tiashans. Good evening. Stephen, good evening, Mr. Abundance, my boss. I salute you from Ghana. Thank you very much. Ghana is in the house, so our admin here. Greeting, Mr. Abundance, panelists, and all the Tiashan. Thanks to Mr. Abundance for his commitment to his sacred mission. TACC is indeed going uphill. Please indicate your country watching from Nigeria. Good evening, Chief Abundance, and the Tiashan. Uphill we go from His grace and glory. That is our panelist, one of our panelists there right now. Good evening, Mr. Abundance in the house. Happy New Year. And those of you who want to be a part of the panel, you can indicate in the forum, indicate to the ambassador and our chief of staff, Mr. Gabriel, so that he can give you the link. Every day there's a new link that comes out. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and fellow Tiashans. Indeed, TACC is unstoppable and will go higher heights than Bitcoin in the next 2 years. Thank you very much. It is done. That is our National Executive Coordinator for South Africa. All right. First Lady UK. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashan. Thank you very much, First Lady. One moment there. Bishop of Wealth. Okay, I am actually in the middle of my broadcast, so they're actually hearing you now. They're actually hearing you. So let me call you back. Yes, that's Bishop of Wealth. Mr. N4 Dudene. Good evening, Honorable House of Greatness. Thank you very much, sir. And we cannot thank you enough for the job that you're doing with those French countries, Mali, Burundi, France, Gabon, Cameroon, Togo. We want to appreciate you, sir. In Ghana, get Bitcoin is not an issue for us, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. So, we need to let our, brothers and sisters know that there are countries that there's no problem in getting Bitcoin. All right. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashan in the house. TACC is going uphill. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the Global TACC family. Together we stand, together we will grow. Thank you very much. Maria, good evening, Chief Abundance and fellow leaders. Macabello from Lesotho. Thank you very much, my dear. Good evening, good morning, good morning, Mr. Abundance and fellow Tiashan in the house. TACC is liberating many out of poverty. That is out of Papua New Guinea. Yes, we're still having evening. Oh, I know Papua New Guinea is like 14 hours ahead of us. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the team. Tini from South Africa. Yes, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the Royal Tiashans community. TACC is going uphill greater than Bitcoin in the next 1 year from now. That's my dream for today, and see multiple coming in. Emmanuel Lawal Dayo. That's our guest yesterday from Nigeria, Sokoto. This is Dame Adiola. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, the panelists, and the entire Tiashan in the house. Compliments of the season. TACC brings freedom to the oppressed people of the world. The Ark of Safety from Nigeria. Thank you very much, Dame Adiola. Chrissy out of the UK. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, leadership and leaders and Tiashans in the community. TACC all the way. Thank you very much for the work that you guys are doing over there in the UK. Good evening. And I'm not too sure if you gave me that recipe for that drink, Chrissy. I'm still waiting. Good evening, observing from St. Martin. Thank you very much, sir. Bitcoin made 33. What? 33,000 today, and something more than Bitcoin is here. Do not delay to double your investment and share the information to others that poverty liberation is possible with TACC. And you know, we are saying it very lightly. You know that TACC will be at 20,000, TACC will be at 50,000. You know, it wasn't any different how person like Prince took Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency. It's not any different what Hanya Glasgow, and let me I have to show Hanya Glasgow because Hanya Glasgow is a perfect example of someone who would have bought. You know, sometimes that was yesterday's Bitcoin and pizza. I just put Bitcoin and pizza. Bitcoin and pizza. Yes, I have to do this because a lot of us need. Let me share my screen. Need to understand and vow not to make the same mistake, and that is why I keep putting these audios before us so that when your grandchildren shall ask you, did you not know about Anya Glasgow story? You will not be able to say, I did not know. There's too much information on the internet. So if you don't have the time to do your research, I will do it for you.
Makes the world go around, but we could be moving towards a world without cash. From credit cards to Apple Pay and cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, cash is no longer king. When I say Bitcoin, you say what? Pizza? This is Laszlo Hanyet of Jacksonville, and it was a pizza delivery order 9 years ago that began the cryptocurrency craze. I just told people I wanted a pizza and I want to pay with Bitcoin. I didn't want a gift card. I didn't want some weird exchange. I wanted to give you Bitcoin and you give me pizza. The 37-year-old computer programmer created this thread in an online forum and posted that he would pay someone 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. A user from England took him up on the offer, and these pizzas were delivered to Hanyet's home. At the time, the 10,000 Bitcoins were worth about $40. Today, they would be worth $100 million. People ask me, oh man, what an idiot, why don't you keep that Bitcoin? And it's like, well, you know, somebody had to start it off. The pizza was purchased at this Papa John's on Atlantic Boulevard. There's even a plaque on the wall with the date May 22nd, 2010, and a proclamation that Jacksonville is the home of the first Bitcoin purchase. Tim Mosback is the general manager.
It's just nice to see history being made here.
So here's how you slice it on how Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies work. It's like buying and selling a stock. The difference is Bitcoin is a computer file, which is stored in a digital wallet app on your smartphone or computer. Every transaction is encrypted and is impossible to counterfeit. Do you trust Bitcoin?
That's a good question.
Don Wiggins is a professor emeritus of accounting and finance at UNF. He says Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are not controlled by banks or the government. Do you think the government fears cryptocurrency?
I think that it is anonymous and various activities as well as perfectly legitimate activities can take place without the ability of anyone outside the government specifically being able to track payments.
As for Hanyet, he says cryptocurrencies and the cashless society is a dawning of a new day. Do you think it's the future of money?
I do.
In a different kind of dough than pizza. Ben Becker, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
And Bitcoin's price has increased from pennies to thousands of dollars over the years. So in July of 2010, the price increased 900% in 5 days from less than a penny to 8 cents. Not too bad, right? So take a look at this. In December 2017, Bitcoin reached its highest price to date, $19,000. And today it stands right around $9,000. There are some downsides to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Every transaction is permanent. So you have...
All right, so here we have Hanya Glasgow there in out in and I do these things because I want our people to understand that they don't take this lightly, because had Hanya Glasgow knew, were looking to the crystal ball like Prince, he wouldn't have done it. All what he had is a plaque on the wall, and they gave him a day, pizza day in the restaurant. That's what he got. But He gave away 100 million. And today, if he had those Bitcoin, those 10,000, he was talking about when the interview took place, those Bitcoin worth 100 million. As it is now, those Bitcoin would have worth over 300 million. And all what he has is a plaque and a wall to say that he was the first. Let us not be like Esau. Let us not be like Esau. No, there, here you go. Prince is showing Prince is showing his well, I don't think they're supposed to can see you, Prince. That's the gentleman that introduced Prince to Bitcoin. And Prince did not show any interest. Look at him today. That's him, the millionaire now in Bitcoin, going around the world, millions of dollars, don't have to sweat. While you are sweating, he don't have to sweat. Oh, thank you very much for that, Prince. All right, so let's do this very quickly. I think Chrissy. Okay, we're coming to an end. Hassan Ali Dura. It will be good also if local government youth leader should be inaugurated globally from Nigeria. Inaugurated, well, I mean, it is open for everybody. This is open for all TACCians who want to come in on the platform. You're free to do so. I think it is better you approach many governments across Africa to accept that. That is what we're now doing, sir. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. We are relocated gratefully for restoring new hope to Africa and the Caribbean in general. We are relocated grateful for your restoring new hope to Africa and the Caribbean in general. May I say to you, all of us are doing it. All of us have a role to play. All of us come to this table as equals. All of us must understand that we are our problems and we are our solutions. All of us must begin to look out for others better than ourselves. When we do that, then we will be looked after. Servant leadership is forget about self for a moment. Forget about self for a moment. Forget about self-praise. Forget about name. Forget about possession. Forget about that for oneself. And ask yourself, whose life can I touch today? I always says, what a difference a day makes when kindness touches it. Whose life are you going to touch in 2021? And when this jet shall leave the tarmac, will any passenger on board will be there because of you? And if so, how many? And will you be satisfied when this story is written? And so I want to thank each and every one of you. Good evening, Chief Abundance, and to all the fellow TACCians in the house. All right, so I think we have come to the last comment. I'm going to give my panelists, sorry that we could not get Madam Helen, who is still standing by there, but the internet is so weak, and also Mr. Paul Akpan, who is the state coordinator for Abuja. I must, thank Paul. He hosted me very well while I was there, and sure that anywhere I wanted to go, he was always there. So I just want to thank him for the role that he played. A matter of fact, he said, "Mr. Bonnet, where are you? I need to come. Where are you?" All right. So, Mr. You do.
Yes,
man,
sir.
Yes. Give us your parting word there in 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much for the platform given, sir. I really appreciate, and thanks to all TACCians. I'm really glad being part of this community, and greetings to Mr. Prince and Mr. John. It was nice being part of this panel for this evening's discussion.
Thank you very much. Mr. John, please give us your parting word. Unmute, yes, unmute yourself. Okay, go on, sir.
Hello. Yeah. TACCians. fellow Theacians and Chief Abundance. I'm very grateful to be in your midst and be among the Theacians and amongst the blessed people of the 2021. And I will also wish that every one of us should come on board, no matter what it takes. We have greater than Bitcoin. My main encouragement for people around is that by 2021, you watch our TACC get to 50,000 within 1 week. It's possible.
Mercy. Have mercy. You know that pastor, what his name? He died last year.
Chibodo.
Chibodo. Yeah. Yes, he says that TACC can become more than a matter of fact. What we predicted in 2025, TACC can do it this year, and he challenged the House, and so his legacy of being able to see things before it happen, we will honor that. Prosperous Prince, give us your parting shot.
Yes. Once again, every day it will get better and better. As we proceed throughout the week. I want everybody from after today that come to this forum, everybody must take away something today as a mindset, and and know that what we're doing is never done before. And today it's a milestone 2021 that we should get out of our comfort zone and reach out to everybody. Do not let your friend says, I did not know. Because as Mr. Abundant said, if he did know about Bitcoin, he would have jumped on it. So the opportunity is here for everybody. Reach out. And we are here in the UK to help. You understand me? If there is somebody called me from Ghana, I will be reaching out to them as well, or wherever part in the world, because it's a numbers game. We need as much people to hear about us. This is good news, and we just want to expand. We are in 120 countries around the world, so we just want to move on. Tomorrow it's going to be greater.
Thank you very much, Prosperous Prince, our resident guest for this series. And he's here because we do not want anyone to make, I think Bishop, Madam God's will need to come on as well. Because as I said, she was the other one that missed out 100 and something million, all because she were not paying attention to the wind that was blowing. And so I want to thank my panelists today. Tomorrow we will continue the same time to enlighten about this industry, about TACC, where we're going, and our mission, our vision, our slogan, our theme. Tomorrow we will announce the theme. I see people are voting in all the forum. We should be able to announce what theme we're going to have this year. Last year it was Think Big. This year I don't know what it is, but I want to thank everyone again for attending. Those who are viewing, TACC is really going uphill. This is history in the making. PhDs will study what we have done for decades. I always said that historians shall pen what we would have done in shock and awe, and our children shall bless us into infinitum. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Till we meet again.